girls gone sports. Hey, girls gone sports. Show me you reppin' your team with Santina and Jeanine. Hey, girls gone sports. Hey, girls gone sports. We steady getting it hype. Hey, I know that you gonna like. You know it's poppin'. If it's a game, you know that we watchin'. We gonna talk football or basketball. All sports, come get involved. Hey, girls gone sports. Woo!
Welcome back to episode 32 of Girls Gone Sports Podcast. Girls Gone Sports. Oh, we made it to 32.
Welcome back.
Hey, Santina.
Hey, Jeanine.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just eager to be here with you.
Me too. I always love recording. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Me too. And especially, speaking of recording, we got some new faces here today on Girls Gone Sports Podcast.
Who could they be?
We got two lovely brothers right up front. The Kelsey brothers.
Yay!
Yay, welcome.
We love the Kelsey
Well,
brothers.
so let me give you guys a little backstory about this. So I was walking in the supermarket, as one does.
Mm-hmm.
I was walking by the cereals, and all of a sudden, something caught my eye.
Of course.
And I see it's the two Kelsey brothers. We got Jason and we got Travis.
How could you walk by them?
I know. I can't even stop looking at him over here.
He's mine. He was taken from me once, not again.
Never again, never again. But I was like, they needed to be here on the podcast. So
Right.
welcome to the Kelsey brothers.
Hey guys. So this cereal is very interesting. It's You would think that when a celebrity comes out the cereal that it's a whole brand new like flavor, the shapes. No, they just decided to mix the three of their favorite, which is Reese's Puffs,
Why not?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and Lucky Charms, which may sound a little weird, but it's all sugar
Like,
at the end of the bowl.
You're right. It goes in your body, all sugar.
It'll
With the
come out one way.
Peanut butter, peanut butter, cinnamon, and marshmallows.
Sweet and salty.
Right? For the peanut butter, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're imaginative. Congrats to the Kelsey brothers on their cereal. Well, also, Santina, speaking of congrats and welcoming people on the podcast, our wonderful viewers and friends at home. If this is your first time tuning into Girls Gone Sports Podcast, first of all, we would like to say thank you so much for choosing to join us here today. If you are watching us on YouTube, make sure you're subscribing to our channel, hitting that like button, and also hitting the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Girls Gone Sports, because why would you want to?
No reason.
There's no reason. Why would you
Just
want
watch
to?
us.
Literally.
Watch us
Just
and
hang.
listen.
And also, if you are listening in on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for tuning in today. Santina, we got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Drama is back. It is ever present. People are just dropping like flies in the NFL.
And NFL, a lot of mistakes happening too, I have
Even
to
in
say.
basketball. And we got some mistakes to talk about today.
Yeah, so starting with basketball, we'll start with the Miami Heat's head coach, Eric Spoelstra. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. So during their game against the Pistons, he called a timeout, which the Miami Heat did not have.
Oh.
And result of that, the Pistons were able to go for a free throw with 1.1 seconds left in the game. And this was an overtime.
Okay.
And so they made the free throw, which resulted in the Pistons win. So I feel like that's just like, not going to say a rookie mistake, because it's just a lot of pressure when games are that close, especially in overtime. Because there's just a short amount of time that you can score, really, compared to the whole game. So it was probably like an honest mistake, but you know, because he stormed off of the court, he was very angry. Again, I think I would have the same reaction.
Yeah, I would kind of, even though he's like your coach as a player, I think I'd be so frustrated. Like, you just gave them a win because of your like desire to
Like, we played
try to stop
4 quarters.
We're
To
tired.
go into overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the players probably would have been reversed in the locker room. They would be yelling at him.
Right.
And they would be coaching him. They'd be like, you have one job. Like, where's the assistant coach? I'd be like, okay, remember, there's no timeouts.
I'm like, someone needs to put him like in like what's it called, like a restraining jacket. Keep him on the side like this.
Yeah, I love how like the refs are like, no, you don't get like a mistake. It's like as soon as you say it, it's set in stone.
Sorry, buddy. Your loss is our game.
I would be like, no, I didn't mean it.
I take it back. I plead the fifth.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not like this is the first time it's happened, but obviously when it does, it just does not leave I feel like a good mark on your coaching.
Yeah.
But I'm not, again, I could never be an NBA coach, so I give them all the credit, but I feel like when you're that high up, especially in the NBA, I mean,
Yeah,
it's hard.
every mistake kind of matters a little bit. Which,
Yeah.
I mean, it's inevitable. At the end of the day, they're just, some guys playing basketball.
Now, yep. And now, moving on to someone that gets down and dirty. Jeanine.
Joel Embiid. Wow. What do I know about Embiid? So, if you know, you know. Embiid, he is a very popular, probably the best 76ers player that there is right now. He leads the 76ers with points, rebounds, and blocks. But something interesting about him. So, right now, this was his first NBA game this season. He's played in other seasons, but this season specifically because he's been out on injury and he has also been out on suspension. Now, if we're kind of comparing from this time to last year's season, the 76ers with Embiid had an 8-2 record. Now, without Embiid, they are 2-8. So they're opposite, which is kind of showing that without Embiid, he's super tall. He's always getting those points. The team is kind of not doing so hot. It's kind of like losing Tom Brady and
it's just hard because he's a good player, but that temper will get you, right?
Yeah.
And he has an injury. The guy can't catch a break here. He's just trying to play basketball, but I know you don't really hope to play against a player who's really aggressive, but I feel like it kind of makes the game fun because, there's a chance of them to get thrown out. It's kind of like a musical.
Yeah.
You don't really know what's going to happen.
Look over there.
I love when an official throws a player out of the game. They're so dramatic with it. Like, you could literally go, "You're out of here," but they have to full on stretch.
Yeah.
To show you. But
Embiid. As a New York Knicks fan, the New York Knicks community does not like him just because he plays dirty. He's always trying to look for a foul. He plays rough. So, I feel like anytime there's a downfall or anytime he's playing at Madison Square Garden, the Knicks fans are always booing him and just because he's trying to get fouls.
But do you think he's playing smarter, not harder? Because the foul, if you have a very high percentage foul shot rate, that can really benefit a game. And because a team is only allowed 5 fouls until where so a player can get fouled or I think it's all together where if you get fouled for when a player's going up for a shot or if you're just on the court, if your team has a total of 5 fouls, again, I could be wrong, don't yell at me. As soon as you've reached the max of fouls you can get, it's automatically a free throw. No matter what, even if the player's going for it or if it's happening on the court. Because usually in a game, if a player is going up for it, about to go for a shot and they get fouled, they can go for a free throw. But if it's happening actively during the play, then it's just a foul, then you take the ball out again. So, I mean, if he's that confident in his fouls and his free throws, okay, again, I could be wrong, but don't come at me.
I like that, Santina. The basketball history, basketball 101 with Santina.
Thank you, because I never knew. I'm like, why do they? I'd always get confused. Well, why is one thing one way and one's the other? But it makes sense if you're going for a shot. So, I mean, I know he's a little cray, but he's kind of playing smarter.
He's giving the 76ers what they need.
Yeah.
And
it's a long time for him to be.
Yes, 10 games. 10 games.
Well, that's drama with him.
Well, speaking of, I don't want to say drama, but maybe top dog.
Yeah.
The Cavaliers. So right now, they are the only team as of today. Today is Wednesday. This episode gets released on Friday. They are the only team right now in the NBA who are undefeated, averaging probably about 122 points per game right now. And Santina, so why I think they're good, I think right now they are playing the best basketball is because of a new change within their coaching system. Santina, talk to us. Who's this head coach? Who's this new guy on the street?
Yeah, so it's new head coach Kenny Atkinson. He stepped into the Cleveland after being fired from the Nets in 2020. And he then joined the Warriors in 2021 and has been their assistant coach until joining the Cavs this past summer. He is an offensive-minded coach, and I just think he was a great addition since his main focus is obviously offense. That's really helped, put the Cavs where they are now in the season with being undefeated. I don't know. He's just a big influence,
I feel like bringing in someone new sometimes is always a good refresher. It kind of gives the team a little boost in morale. You have this exciting new coach. He's putting all these different plays together. So the fact that he has stepped up and also is bringing the Cavaliers to these amazing victories one after another and giving them over 100 points per game is pretty incredible. So great job to the Cavaliers. Let's see if they are still undefeated by maybe next week. Fingers crossed. I don't know.
I know that'd be like a great win for their new head coach Kenny, right? I mean,
Yeah.
You just started with them and then now they're still going undefeated. I just feel like the NFL's kind of the coach problems that they're having is kind of rubbing off on
I know
the NBA.
Everybody wants a new coach.
Maybe they're watching the Sunday games. They're like, oh, I would never do that. Then bam.
It
Come
happens to
Tuesday,
you.
you're doing that.
Yeah.
Well, that's basketball. I like basketball. It's a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
Santina, we do love basketball. Well, Santina,
Yes.
speaking of, because we love speaking of undefeated.
Guys, listen, hear me out. I know I'm wearing a Chiefs shirt, but it's really mainly because of Travis
That's
Kelce.
When
I am telling you, I think I at this point I don't know if Patrick Mahomes, again, he's a great quarterback. I don't know if he's faking these injuries and then being able to play, but I literally don't know how this team never loses.
right.
It's like they're unstoppable, and I just feel like no one has an explanation. As I guess it's just the right staffing or the coach, the right staff, and just the right players. They just have to give away their secret a little bit of how they work so well.
They need to stop. I'm sorry. This whole undefeated thing. Humble yourself. Only okay. So there's only one team who has gone undefeated the whole season and didn't win the Super Bowl, which was the Patriots. Then we only have another team who didn't go or who went undefeated and won the Super Bowl was the Dolphins. So I don't know if they're trying to get to history here or humble yourself and lose a game, buddy.
I just love how now if it were my Jaguars, which they lost again.
No, they didn't. They happily got lesser points. You didn't lose.
They humbled themselves and chose less
That's
points.
what we're asking for.
If I was a Chiefs fan, oh my God, I'd be through the roof. I'd be bragging about my team. I'd wear some kind of their logo every single day. But I guess your team is doing pretty well.
The Bells.
But I think until our teams are undefeated like them, then we're always just gonna be a little, envious. So.
It's the Chiefs. It's if you want to go to the Super Bowl, if you want to win the Super Bowl, you got to beat the Chiefs. That right now is the team. It's not the Lions. It's not the Ravens. It's not the. It's the Chiefs. Those are the top dogs that you need to beat. It's the Mount Everest of the teams. So until you beat them. It's kind of hard to win. But we do have to kind of talk about some wins that happened this week that were pretty incredible. So we have the Steelers versus the Commanders game. Now, this game, I feel like had me on the edge of my seat until the very last minute. So on the last minute, it was 28-27 Steelers. Now, the Steelers were up by 1 point. It was the fourth quarter with 1 minute left. And if you know in football, a minute could still be a lot of time.
Oh,
especially
30 minutes.
Especially if you're trying to run the clock. If people have timeouts left, you can really stretch out that 1 minute. Now, the Steelers were on 4th and 1. So they were on 4th down with I almost said inch. 1 yard.
1 yard.
Yeah, 1 yard to go. So they needed to kind of like make this one in order to have gotten a fresh set of downs back to first down. They really wanted to keep moving that ball just to try to get, a field goal or a touchdown, even though they were up by 1 point. Because again, every point counts, every minute counts. So what happened was Russell Wilson, the current quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he was yelling out his cadences like the whole 32, blah, 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 blah. And what their goal to try to do is to try to get the defense to jump. Because if the defense jumps before the quarterback snaps the ball, that is actually a penalty. And it is called an infraction.
Oh, the more you know.
I know. The more you. We need where's the. Oh my God. The more you know. The more you know about football. Oh, can we do one more? Can we do 1, 2, 3. The more you know. Oh, are we supposed to go opposite?
What? I don't know. Wait.
Is it the more you know? No, I think we're supposed to do the other hand.
Okay, this one.
Maybe. Or is it the more you know or the more
You know what? It's just the more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know about football and the rules. So what happened was number 95 on the Commanders thought maybe that he heard like or thought that the ball had snapped, but he didn't. He jumped, which caused the infraction penalty, which means that I'm so excited, which means that the Steelers, they benefited from that, and they got to go automatically to first down because of that. And since then, the Steelers still had timeouts. The Commanders didn't, and because the Steelers were up, they were able to take a knee and run the clock, which resulted in the Steelers win. So basically, if you jump, that could mean your team loses, kind of just like how we talked about the Heat. If you jump, you think you got a timeout, your team could lose. So that was really interesting and kept me on the edge of my seat. And all because of that, the Steelers won.
I feel like with the minute and 2 seconds that they had left, and the Steelers had two timeouts left.
I believe so.
That is so much time.
Yes.
I know a timeout could be 30 seconds?
Around
Around that. You could stretch that to 45 minutes in a game. It is just crazy how, again, Patrick Mahomes, the game's never over until it's over.
Yes, you don't want to give, especially him, you don't want to give him that amount of time, because if he gets to a field,
you got to crush him in the first second of the first quarter, okay? Because as soon as he gets injured and then makes a pass, he's still going to play. He's not going to take it out of the game.
He does not care. He will play with a bone sticking out of his leg.
Yeah,
he would, and he'll yell at Coach Reed to keep him in.
I love how they yell at the coach.
I'd be like, who do you think you're talking to?
You go play, I'm here. But in our last episode, there were a couple close scoring games. I mean, 28-27. It's you can't get really any closer than that besides being tied.
Yeah, and it was just to talk about the Steelers game. It was just crazy. And the center of the Steelers, Zach Frazier, he actually revealed that they didn't have a plan, a planned play for that fourth down. They were really just trying to get the defense offsides, which is when the defense player crosses the line of scrimmage before the snap. So they were really just trying to get them to have to move, so they got that penalty so the game would end. So can you imagine if they just kept doing it?
Gotcha.
And I didn't say go.
Simon said. Well, I mean,
good job, Pittsburgh.
Yes,
Pittsburgh,
congrats.
black and yellow.
Now, guys, we're not favoriting the Chiefs this episode.
No.
I mean, I know we have this, and I know I'm wearing
Again,
this.
if you guys want to come to the podcast,
but guys, I'm supporting the man on this.
Oh, you're supporting Bay. You're supporting Bay.
So, speaking of a crazy game, right, and a crazy way of winning. Now, we all know that the Chiefs undefeated, but it's not just from one play. It's a variety, right? So this specific game that they played against the Broncos. So with the last few seconds of the game, the Broncos were going for a field goal.
Yeah, I think it was 1 second left or something crazy.
Yeah, and it was 16-14, and it was the Chiefs bleeding. The Chiefs blocked the field goal. Now, guys, it's they have to be paying somebody.
The refs, I want to see your lottery numbers. I want to see all this stuff. I don't get it.
It's just, and like I said, they win all sorts of ways. It could either be a blocked field goal, or they make a field goal, or a touchdown. It's just, I mean, I guess that's nice to have a variety, right?
I think it's the Chiefs, I feel like they haven't been winning in ways that we are used to seeing them dominating the scoreboard.
Right.
They've been getting little lucky things, blocking a field goal, getting a field goal at the end of the game. All of these things that are giving them luck in a sense, and it's not the same Patrick Mahomes that I feel like we're used to from a few years ago. So I feel like their luck, knock on wood or something, is running out. If you want to win a game, you can't keep relying on these last minute miracles, Patrick.
I know. It's just, it's like this team is coming back for vengeance of after having a terrible season, but they just won the Super Bowl. Yep. I mean, again, I'm just a jealous fan because clearly my team can't even win anything.
Your team is stepping down with humbleness.
I like that.
Me
they
too.
Put that quote here. Stepping down with humbleness.
Stepping down with humbleness.
Well, I mean, I guess congrats. I think that's a really good way to win a game. It's very lucky, but Hopefully next game they lose. Now, anyways, moving on. Jeanine, your Bay. Talk about
My
it.
Bay is sad. Guys, Bengals versus Ravens. Classic rivals, right? So the Bengals so far have lost the last 4 games they've played to the Ravens. Not just this season they played 4 games, but like we're talking about other
Past season?
yes, because they're in the same division, so they play each other twice a season. So they've lost the last 4 games to the Ravens. So the whole game, it was the Bengals versus Ravens. They were, equal, scoring at least 2 touchdowns in each quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, it all went wrong. Or excuse me, they were scoring at least 2 touchdowns in fourth quarter. It was just going back and forth. So I feel bad. I feel bad. I feel like I know I say this every week. I feel so bad for Joe Burrow. We feel so bad for him.
There's not enough credit in the world that I think we can give this guy to make up for the hard times that he's having with his team.
Yes.
And that includes the staff, the players. The guy comes back from not being able to play base all season last season because of an injury.
Yep.
And, now he comes back, bleach blonde hair. And he's like, you know what? This is my season. And the poor guy can't catch a break.
This is what happened. So the Bengals were trying to, they successfully got the 6 points of a touchdown. Now, again, your 2 options are kick the extra point, or you could try to go for a 2-point conversion where you try to get 2 extra points, but that's more risky. A kicker, that's their one job. They kick. But you have to rely on someone being in the end zone ready to catch the ball. So Joe Burrow gives them, we're going to go for 2 because obviously he wants to have a point up. He wants to be over the Ravens. He passes it. They missed the ball. So the Bengals lost the game. So instead of just maybe kicking it safely to go into overtime, they lost the game. And I feel really bad for Joe Burrow because right now they only have a 34.1% chance of making it to the playoffs with a 4.6 record. So if I know I say this every time, but if they really want to make it to wild card, they really want to make it to the playoffs, you need to go ahead and win every single game. Even if they're, maybe 10-7. Like they really got to make some choices here. Yeah. I mean, other teams are firing people. Maybe something drastic has to happen because Joe's doing what Joe's got to do. Jamar Chase is doing what Jamar Chase has got to do. And let's give some credit where credit is due, Santina, about this game. It is. Yes.
It's just, I feel like the team every week I'm happy it's not just one person that's making all the mistakes. Very back and forth. I can't speak because on behalf of my Jaguars, we suck. On behalf representing. I feel that's just very frustrating. I think especially as a quarterback because you're also like, how much advice can you give to the coach who's being paid to coach the team?
Right. And it has to be somewhere with coaching. It has to be somewhere. I mean, the players are stepping it up. Like, let's give Joe some credit here. He threw his career-long touchdown pass to Jamar Chase for 70 yards. His career-long pass, and he still lost the game. I mean, I know the Ravens are a very tough team. They were almost Super Bowl contenders. Lamar Jackson was MVP last year, and they were in Baltimore, so you're playing away. But like I said, Joe Burrow, he threw 70 yards, his longest touchdown pass. And what I thought was so cool is when Jamar Chase grabbed it, instead of just running right away into the end zone, he saw that no one was around him. He was just walking, and all he did was just cross his arm over with the ball, and they got the touchdown. Well, what if he went to do that and then he dropped it?
I'd be like, I think I'm gonna retire after today.
And I'm out. I'm out.
At least with the loss, Joe had a win, right? Because he had 70 yards.
Yeah, I feel really bad for him. I just wish I could give him a hug.
Well, when you call him tonight, maybe
I'll call him into the podcast later. But
there you go. I mean, best of luck to the Bengals, Joe. Yep. I really hope it turns around for you and the team.
Ooh, day.
Them Bengals.
Ooh, day. Okay.
Keep breaking those records because you know what? Still get that MVP. still get the MVP.
Oh, Joe Burrow for MVP at the end of the year. Santina, you do know they're losers right now, right?
That's the team. Not
Wait, what would wait? Can we do like most valuable? Isn't MVP? No, what could be like a title that we could give a quarterback for
most valuable quarterback who tries but the team doesn't. So MVQ W T B T T D.
maybe just like a you tried it award. You tried.
UTI.
No, you tried it. Okay. MVP. That's all we got. That's all we got here on Girls Gone Sports Podcast.
Oh my gosh, good luck, Joe.
Santina, let's talk about it. Speaking of sadness, the Bears.
Yes.
What's going on with the Bears? What happened?
Who knows? The Bears had to part ways with their offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. Waldron is the 8th in 15 months to be fired or resign from the Bears.
They're not doing too bad this year. They're not like the Patriots or the Titans or like they're not doing too bad. So what's the need to fire them?
I mean, you know what? The Bears, like, general manager or whatever, has no remorse. He's like, you know what?
Yeah.
You're fired, 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 you're fired.
You know what?
8 in 15
No,
months.
I'm gonna say it. Them Grizzlies are getting to their head.
Tame the bear, please.
Back boys.
I mean, you need some kind of humor in this, right?
know.
But at least he's not the only one. He's probably like asking the other coaches, like the other 7, what
Right.
did we do wrong? I'm sorry, you guys got Caleb Williams.
You're welcome.
Yeah, maybe look at him. Don't start getting rid of all these other coaches. But the 8th and 15th.
Maybe they need to go to like a cave and study bears.
I'm telling you, I think a lot of teams. I think there needs to be like maybe a mid-season break, like intermission.
A mid-season retreat.
Yes, I think, in Pitch Perfect where the Bellas had to go to a retreat, I think that's what a lot of teams need.
And then they could get a bear with a collar and be like,
Right.
baby, come back. Come here, bear.
But
come here, bear.
For this retreat, you have to be there, Aaron.
Be bear.
Not in Be Bear. Yeah, the other teams, you can't
Aaron.
go.
I just got that. We're going to Aaron.
You have to be there if we do the retreat.
Yep.
But I mean, the poor Bears. They got the first round pick in the season or in the draft, and they got rid of their 8th coach that in the last 15 months. Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. Well,
What award do we give for that?
most Barry Sad, the Barry Sad Award, or 2 on the nose.
The Bad Bunch.
Revolving door,
Never ending.
never ending pasta.
Just go.
Well, Santina, speaking of sadness, talk about Mr. Prescott.
So it's recently come out that Mr. Dak Prescott is out for the season. The season that basically I feel like just started.
Yep.
And he is to undergo a hamstring surgery. So the Cowboys are currently 3-6. And again, they lost badly to the Eagles.
It was, and they the only points they got on the board were 2 field goals, no touchdown.
Now, listen,
Yikes.
the Cowboys have been through it with Dak having to go to surgery, Ezekiel Smith, Elliott, sorry. Wow, who is Ezekiel Smith? Ezekiel Smith. I think that's a person. Anyways, Ezekiel Elliott not being able to go to one of the games because he missed a meeting. Them having a 3-6 record, them losing badly to the Eagles with only 2 field goals. I'm not saying that maybe the surgery is a blessing in disguise. Maybe again, best wishes to you.
They're not America's team anymore. They're really
Listen,
not.
they've printed too many shirts that say America's team on
Burn
there.
it. Burn it.
maybe this new the quarterback up and coming.
Well, so their new quarterback guy. So they signed a player. His name is Will Greer, like Nash Greer, like the old.
The Greer brothers.
So he has only played in 2 NFL games in his career. Those 2 games were back in 2019 with the Carolina Panthers. He's been on teams with the Bengals, the Patriots, and the Panthers, but in only those 2 appearances that he had in 2019, he ended up completing 28 of his 52 pass attempts with no touchdowns and 4 interceptions. So, I mean, maybe he just needs time to shine. Maybe he just needs some time in the field. Who knows?
Honestly, like,
Who
I
knows?
know we know something about sports, but with the facts right here,
I think we're smart enough to know.
If I am Will, I really may put some applications to somewhere else.
Banana Republic.
Again, you never
Friend.
know. Brock Purdy?
Purdy.
Yeah, he was the backup quarterback. Made it all the way to the Super Bowl. So help me God if this happens. I mean, I should probably place a bet. Like, what if Will is the saving grace that this team needs to be America's team again?
We'll see.
But I mean, like, Dak, didn't they just sign him again?
Yeah, and the Cowboys are also playing the Texans, so
So I will be looking forward to that game.
I will be there with some popcorn and with some snacks. Well, Santina, speaking of no touchdowns, okay?
Bring him out.
Where is he?
Bring him out.
We gotta talk about. Look at all the players we have here today.
They're all here.
We gotta talk about Aaron Rodgers. Where's the other one? Where's the one I want to give him? That one.
Oh. So, buddy, let's just come here. Let's have a chat.
Yeah.
So, your coach Salah, right? There have been some images in the past where it just looks like you're not being so friendly. Well, I'm gonna, that's a main word in this episode is humble. I'm gonna humble you.
Stay humble.
So this past game, against the Cardinals for the Jets, no touchdowns were successful for Aaron Rodgers. Not one. Look at the camera. Not one. Not one touchdown. And the Jets, like the Cowboys, scored 2 field goals against the Cardinals.
Yep. Now I want to say something to him.
Sure, go ahead.
Guys, for those who are listening just on audio, we have a picture of Aaron Rodgers that we like to bring out when we talk about him. Buddy.
Yeah.
I'm looking, both eyes over here, right? So, you lost to a team that were 4-13 last year, who didn't even win more than that's on one hand. You want to act like you're big and bad. Last game you won, okay, walking like it's your Super Bowl. You lost, buddy. You lost. Retire. It's time.
You know what I gotta say? Last season, first game, you got injured. Patrick Mahomes gets injured and is limping every single game, every single quarter.
Yep.
He's still there. I've had enough of this guy.
It's time to cash in your 401. It's time to
retire.
I can't. And I can't fight this feeling anymore.
But I mean, again, the Jets really have not had the best of luck since firing Salah.
I'm telling you. So, and he's probably laughing at them like I told you so.
Until his next team. The best of luck to him.
Well, Aaron, we'll see you next time for your next loss.
I just feel like a lot of the topics we just discussed, I feel like someone's playing a prank on us because
firing, jumping. What else? Will Greer.
Aaron Rodgers unsuccessful, no touchdowns.
Yep.
It's just a lot of laughter here, right?
Guys, we're all smiles here on Girls Gone Sports.
At least we got the cereal.
Yep. And we're back to where we started the cereal. Well, Santina, what episodes, what games are you excited to see this Sunday?
So there's a few to start. I'm excited to see the Ravens versus the Steelers. I can't wait to see what the Steelers bring after what they've shown in this past game.
Yep.
So the Steelers are playing division rivals 4 weeks in a row.
Yeah, they've played their they're playing their division rivals 4 weeks in a row. So that means the next 4 games really count, because if you want to stay at the top of your division, if you really want to secure that spot to the playoffs, you got to make sure, Steelers, that you are winning. And they've actually been doing a fantastic job this season. Good job, Coach Tomlin, everyone at the Steelers. That you guys are doing great. So keep it up. I'm also excited to see the Bills and the Chiefs. I'm surprised that's not the 8:00 game, because if you know, the Bills and the Chiefs. We got a little
Listen,
I don't want to say argument. It's a rivalry.
Listen.
And y'all are coming to Buffalo.
Okay, please. I always say that Bills fans are a little crazy. I am really giving all my prayers that no, the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs.
Amen.
Okay? I'm putting that out there. I just don't know. Is Taylor going to the game?
I hope so.
Taylor in the Buffalo Bills.
I love you, Taylor. I love you.
Good anchor bar.
That's what we do, right? You get the 10 wings, okay?
Yep.
Peach iced tea. But yeah, I'm really nervous. I'm also really excited to see this game. So maybe the Bills will, humble the Chiefs and get them that losing
Fingers
spot.
crossed. Is that 1 or 4, the game?
It's a 4:00 game.
That should be the
8:00.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also kind of happy I don't have to stay up and be anxious.
I
go to bed late.
But you know what? You're not going to have to be anxious, because they're going to win. Oh my God, please. I hope they hear all my prayers. I think that would just be a really nice win for the Bills.
Yes, me too.
Because my Jaguars have nothing going for them.
You guys have gracefully passed on the baton to somebody else.
Yeah, we're trying. The next game I'm excited to see is the Cowboys versus the Texans.
Yep.
Mainly because I really want to see what Will Greer has to offer.
We got his jersey already, guys.
It's autographed right here.
I'm also excited to see the Bengals and the Chargers. I'm hoping Joe Burrow gets a lot of TLC this week and is able to figure out what we got to do in order to win the rest of the season.
You know what? I have faith in this game for them.
Me too.
I have a lot of faith for the underdogs this Sunday.
That's what we're hashtag team underdogs here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
I'm rooting, except for Aaron.
Aaron, please.
That team. I mean, the people on the team are probably really nice, but something about your quarterback. Anyway.
Well, speaking of something nice, Santina, if you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you are liking our video, hitting subscribe, and you are hitting that notification bell so you never miss an episode of Girls Gone Sports. If you want to follow us along, we are on Instagram at Girls Gone Sports Pod. You can find us on TikTok and Facebook at Girls Gone Sports Podcast. We are also on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon. Big one is YouTube. Wherever you stream your podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into episode 32. So until next time, we have been Girls Gone Sports Podcast.
Girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have